Hello, everyone. Can you hear my voice?
Yes, ma'am.
आप लोगों को आवाज सुनाई दे रही है क्या मैम की?
हाँ, सुनाई दे रहा है।
हाँ, प्लीज आप लोग इंटरेक्ट करें। वॉइस इज वेटिंग। आप लोग अपना कैमरा ऑन कर लीजिए प्लीज। अंसज, शिवम,
गुड इवनिंग मैम।
गुड इवनिंग
मैम से पूछ लो उनको आपकी आवाज सुनाई दे रही है कि नहीं।
हेलो मैम, आपको नहीं दिखाई दे रहा है इधर?
Hello.
हाँ
Can you
मैम।
hear my voice?
यस मैम।
I can't hear anything.
मैम, आई एम सुबीर नंदी।
Yes, now I can hear you.
ओके।
Good evening, everyone.
गुड इवनिंग मैम। गुड इवनिंग मैम।
So today we'll be doing total productive management and purchase management. These are something which is used everywhere, wherever you are working. Maintenance of the equipments, machines, everything is required everywhere. So total productive maintenance, sorry, management maintenance. So what is the definition? Subir, you read?
Yeah. Yes ma'am. Total productive maintenance is a system of maintaining and improving the integrity of production, safety and quality systems through the machines, equipment, processes, and employees that add business value to an organization.
So total productive, naturally, in whichever field you are working, whatever you are producing, whether it is a service or a product, the productivity has to be maintained or even increased. And for that, you have to maintain everything, not only the equipments and the machine, but the process which you will be using, the men who are working over there, men or women, the workforce, So all these things have to be maintained. If you want a total productive maintenance, not only for only looking at the equipments, but in totality, everything which increases the productivity of any organization, wherever you are working, whether you are working in automobiles, like some of you are working there, some of you are working in a hospital, some of you are working in solar system, wherever you are working, the total productive maintenance is required everywhere. What are the goals of total productive maintenance? Ansaj?
Goals are zero defects, zero breakdown, and zero accidents.
So everyone's goal is what? Zero defect. As far as possible, defects should be eliminated. Then the breakdown, it is maintaining everyone. Even a human being, if he or she breaks down, then what will happen? The productivity of the organization will be affected. If it is the equipment, if it is the process which you are using, if something goes wrong in the process, the productivity will be affected, and there should be no accidents as far as possible. This naturally, making it absolute zero becomes very difficult, but we should try to minimize all these things in practicality. Then what are the pillars of total productive maintenance? Shivam?
Yes, ma'am.
You read?
Autonomous
Maintenance.
autonomous. Then Kobestrus Kaizen.
Kaizen, you must have heard this name.
Yes, ma'am.
Then
Plant maintenance, quality maintenance, training, office TPM, safety, health, and environment.
so these are the 7 pillars on which TPM lies. And these 7 pillars write down 5S. How to organize, how to keep your environment safe and fresh, how to standardize your work, all those things. The 5S, actually, as it comes, it is from Japanese 7 words. I think Swapan has also come. Where is Swapan?
Yes, ma'am.
So you read.
Start TPM. TPM start with 5S. Problems cannot be clearly seen when the workplace is unorganized. Cleaning and organizing the workplace help the team to uncover problems.
Only if you keep your things, the whole organization organized. Like littered है, ये तो क्या actual problem है, वहां तो ध्यान ही नहीं जाएगा, दूसरी बातों पर ध्यान चला जाएगा. जैसे आजकल हिंदुस्तान में हो रहा है, जो एक्चुअल प्रॉब्लम पर तो ध्यान ही नहीं जा रहा है, कभी हिजाब पर तो कभी कुछ. So it should not be littered. It should be in a very organized manner so that the actual problems can be highlighted, can be seen. You are not deviated from the actual problems. Continue, Swapan.
Making problem visible in the first step of improvement.
The first step is making the problems visible. If you don't know the problems, what will you solve?
The 7 pillars of PPM lie on the following 5S.
5S, as I told you, these are 5S because it has come from Japanese. Japanese words are Seri, Seitan, CSO, Saibetsu, Shitsuke. All these are Japanese words. We are not very familiar with these words, but the equivalent English translation is what? Organize, tidiness, clean, standardize, and discipline. Organize means ki equivalent 5S, you can say ki S, but in English. sort, organize. It should be sorted out. Things should be sorted out. Then they should be systemized. Then clean, sweep. Standardize is already S, and discipline is self-discipline. Everyone in the organization should be self. Nobody should force you to do something. You should yourself realize the environment should be created in such a way that everyone in the organization, he or she realizes that they should be undisciplined, not use words that will affect others, not your with you either with your words or deeds. You should be self-disciplined. You should know what you are supposed to do and try to maintain a disciplined atmosphere. Subir,
Yes, ma'am.
first S.
The five A's, Siri, sort out. This means sorting and organizing the items as critical, important, frequently used items, useless, or items that are not needed as of now.
So you should sort out. Just for example, if you enter any shop also, they keep their things in a very organized manner. जिसको वो सेल करना चाहते हैं, जिससे बड़ा आई कैचिंग हो, तो उसको अपने शॉप के शुरू में रखते हैं कि any customer who enters the shop is attracted by those things, and then they'll try to buy those things. So in everywhere you're working, even in a house, if you keep your house cluttered, if you need something, maybe even a simple pen, you will not be able to find it at the time you require it, because over here it is the time that matters a lot. अब cluttered होगा तो क्या होगा? जो चीज जहां रहना है वहां नहीं है, nobody will be able to locate it at the time they require it. So it is very important कि जो important चीज है उसको एक जगह रखें, जो नहीं उतना important नहीं उसको थोड़ी दूसरी जगह रखें. जैसे जैसे उनकी रिक्वायरमेंट होगी वैसे शायद उसको आराम से निकाला जा सकता होगा. नहीं तो जो यूजलेस है, बेकार क्लटर करके क्या है, उसको कहीं डिस्पोज ऑफ कर दीजिए. हो सकता है थोड़ा बेच देंगे तो सैल्वेज वैल्यू भी मिल जाएगा. जैसे स्क्रैप वगैरह, मैकेनिकल जो प्रोडक्शन होते हैं वहां स्क्रैप्स बिक्री होते रहते हैं बीच बीच में, बिकॉज दे आर नॉट नीडेड. तो देयर आर सो मेनी वेज, बट द बेसिक इज टू कीप एवरीथिंग इन एन ऑर्गेनाइज्ड मैनर.
Unwanted items can be salvaged.
As I told you, if you don't require it, जैसे हम लोग घर में भी, suppose there are old clothes, either you distribute it among the needy, or you maybe you can sell it also second hand, whatever you want, but at least dispose it of somehow or other, so it does not clutter the place and unnecessary occupies some space unnecessary. It will be hindering your work.
Critical items should be kept for use nearby, and items that are not be used in near future should be stored in some place. For this step, the worth of the item should be decided based on utility and not cost.
It is not that very expensive items should be kept at nearby. It is not that. It is on the utility, not on the cost. For example, even in a computer, you have a cache memory. Why? All the important things are stored there, so you can easily retrieve it. और जो चीज नहीं अभी जरूरत नहीं है, फ्यूचर में कभी जरूरत होगा तो ऐसा है, you should know where it is kept, but it should not be at the top of everything. It should be kept somewhere safely, so that whenever it is required, it can be easily retrieved.
As a result of this step, the search time is reduced.
It is very clear. Naturally, you will not be wasting time in searching the item for the item. पता है जो immediate जरूरत है, important है, वो पास में रखा है. जो थोड़े दिन में जरूरत पड़ेगी तो उसे थोड़े दूर में रखे हैं. But we know कि हाँ कहाँ है उसका storage, so that even if you require it in the future, you don't find it at that time, then again you will be facing problems. This is the first S, that is sorting out, organizing. The second S, Ansaj,
Based on organize. The concept here is that
Yes.
each item has
Sorry.
a place and only
पहले
one
तो
place.
सॉर्ट आउट कर लिए ना कि कहाँ कौन इम्पोर्टेंट है, कौन वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट है, कौन इम्पोर्टेंट है, कौन यू नीड इट फ्यूचर, पहले वैसे ऑर्गेनाइज किए, अब उसको जहां रखना है वहां रख रहे हैं. हाँ, कंटिन्यू आंसर.
Yeah. Each item has a place and only one place. The item should be placed back after usage at the same place. To identify items easily, nameplate and colored tags has to be used.
जैसे सब आइडेंटिफिकेशन शुड बी देयर कि हाँ ये किस चीज का रैक है, यहाँ क्या रखा हुआ है. प्लेट्स यूज करो, कलर टैग्स यूज करो, whatever you using, you have to identify कि what is the place and what is you kept over there.
Vertical racks can be used for this purpose, and heavy items occupy the bottom position in the rack.
Actually, heavier atom, if it is kept at the, you'll be more prone to accidents. उतारते समय शायद गिर गया, कुछ हो गया, तो both the equipment will be hampered as well as the person who's handling it will meet an accident. Shivam, this is the third S.
Say so. Shine the workplace. This involves cleaning the workplace free of burrs, grease, oil, waste, scrap, etc. No loosely hanging wires or oil leakage from machines.
So you can see, because one of the goals is no accidents. No accident तो शायद possible नहीं है कि एकदम, मगर it should be minimized. हो सकता कोई accident हो, कुछ समय भी जाए, उसके बाद कोई छोटा मोटा एक्सीडेंट हो भी जाए, तो दैट इज टॉलरेबल. एक टॉलरेंस लिमिट के अंदर ही होना चाहिए. अब वायर हैंगिंग है, हो सकता है कोई एक्सीडेंट हो जाए, ऑयल लीकेज है, एक्सीडेंट, तो दीज आर, यू आर गिविंग इन्विटेशन टू द एक्सीडेंट. इफ वायर इज हैंगिंग और ऑयल इज लीकिंग, कोई शॉर्ट सर्किट हो जाए, किसी को कोई somebody might be affected by it while passing through that area. Then the fourth S, Swapan. Swapan,
Yes, ma'am.
fourth S पढ़िए आप.
Sheiketsu. Standardization. Employee has to discuss together and decided on standard for keeping the workplace machine pathway neat and clean.
क्या एक स्टैंडर्ड मेंटेन होना चाहिए, तो एवरीबॉडी शुड डिस्कस एंड डिसाइड कि हाँ ये स्टैंडर्ड मेंटेन है एंड दैट शुड बी मेंटेन्ड.
These standards are implemented for whole organization and are tested, inspected randomly.
तो बीच बीच में टेस्ट भी होना चाहिए, इंस्पेक्शन भी होना चाहिए कि हाँ दैट इज बीइंग मेंटेन्ड. ऐसा नहीं है कि शुरू में तो मेंटेन हुआ, फिर बाद में धीरे धीरे सब कुछ गड़बड़ होने लगा. तो इट हैज टू बी रेगुलर मॉनिटरिंग एंड कंट्रोल ऑफ दीज स्टैंडर्ड्स शुड बी देयर. Then Subir,
Yes, ma'am.
this is the fifth S.
हाँ, Shitsuke, self discipline. Considering 5S as a way of life and bring about self discipline among the employees of
Of the organization. सुबीर, क्या कुछ? हेलो सुबीर,
Ma'am, there seems to be a problem with his connection.
Acha, answer you continue. This includes wearing badges.
This includes wearing badges, following work procedures, punctuality, dedication to the organization, etc.
तो this way you can, मैंने ऐसा नहीं है कि somebody has to tell you कि अभी जाना है, अभी ये करना है. You should know कि what is the work procedure, when you should be reporting for your work, when you should be leaving the office, and there has to be a belongingness to the organization. Only if that is there, I think the self-discipline will come. When you feel that you are part of the organization is for you and you are for the organization. This is for each and every employee in the organization. Chota ho chahe bada ho, everyone has a important part to play. Say, there's a very good example. एक बार क्या हुआ, एक बहुत अच्छा प्ले हुआ, but at end में, अभी तो आजकल वैसे plays नहीं होते, but at the end the curtain falls, and before that all the actor and actresses stand stiff on the stage, एकदम स्टैचू की तरह, मगर वो तुरंत कर्टन फॉल करना, क्योंकि दे आर ह्यूमन बीइंग, थोड़ी देर में हिल जाएंगे तो इफेक्ट ही खत्म हो जाएगा. तो वो आदमी जो कर्टन पुल करता है, यदि वो थोड़ा भी देर लगा देगा तो लास्ट जो इतना अच्छा ड्रामा चल रहा था, सब लोग इतने अच्छे से एक्टिंग कर रहे थे, वो सारा इफेक्ट ही खत्म हो जाएगा. If that statue moves, so that shows that even the curtain puller has a very important role to play. For example, if you go and visit if you are going to a very good hotel, the first one who will be receiving will be the gate man, isn't it? Ab uska the behavior is not up to the mark, he is not very friendly with you, or he is not very polite, naturally first thing you will be disgusted. After you enter the hotel, you might get the best offer, best everything, but then that thing will affect your mind. So whether you are in a very high position or whether you know, everyone, they should understand, even the organization should understand that everyone has an important role to play. So the belongingness to the organization is important, both for the organization as well for the employees. तभी self discipline आ सकता है. Now we'll be doing the 7. In the beginning only we have said the 7 pillars of total work productive maintenance. So, and these 7 pillars, they lie on 5S. जो 5S है, sorting, organizing, standardization, discipline, all these things, if it is there, then only you will have these 7 pillars. The first pillar is Subir.
Autonomous maintenance. This pillar is geared towards developing operators to be able to take care of small maintenance tasks. This freeing up the skilled maintenance people to spend time on more value added activity and technical repairs.
ऑटोनोमस मेंटेनेंस माने छोटे मोटे काम के लिए अब वो मेंटेनेंस स्टाफ को नहीं देखना, द पर्सन हु इज हैंडलिंग द जॉब, दे शुड बी एबल टू डू इट. हर एक चीज के लिए यू डोंट हैव टू लुक एट द मेंटेनेंस पीपल. सो इट इज सेल्फ ऑटोनोमस मेंटेनेंस. छोटे मोटे चीज के लिए मान लो कि कोई पाइप ही लीक कर रहा है तो उसको कैसे ठीक करना है, कहीं प्लग ढीला हो गया है तो उसको कैसे ठीक करना है, वायर हैंग कर रहा है तो उसको कैसे ठीक करना है, इसके लिए अब एक आदमी को बुलाओ कराओ. इससे अच्छा तो पीपल हु आर वर्किंग इन दैट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन वो उस काम को देख ले. छोटे मोटे काम के लिए, हाँ बड़ा कोई काम होगा तो ठीक है, किसी को बुलाना होगा, करवाना होगा. लाइक इवन इन योर हाउस यू हैव सीन, अब छोटे मोटे चीज के लिए हो सकता है इलेक्ट्रिकल रिपेयर है, छोटा मोटा है तो यू डू इट योरसेल्फ. So that is there. This is what is your workplace in an extension of your family.
The operators are responsible for upkeeps of their equipment to prevent it from deterior-
Deteriorating.
deteriorating.
एक्चुअली
हाँ,
ऐसा
हाँ,
है ना, ऑपरेटर्स इफ दे आर रिस्पॉन्सिबल, जो अपकीपिंग है, जिसको ठीक से सफाई करना है, ये नहीं कि डस्ट बैठ गया, स्केलिंग हो गया, यदि उनका सफाई ठीक से कर रहा है, उनका देखभाल ठीक कर रहा है, तो वो धीरे धीरे जो डिटोरेशन नहीं होगा, वो नीचे नहीं जाएंगे. It can be maintained for a longer period of time, and things naturally this way productivity will rise. Now Shivam,
Yes, ma'am.
second pillar.
Kaizen. Kai means change and Zen means good, for the better.
माने धीरे, जरूरी नहीं कि बहुत बड़ा लीप लेके आप कोई चीज को चेंज करेंगे, धीरे धीरे छोटे छोटे स्टेप्स लीजिए, मगर उसको ग्रेजुअली कंटिन्यूअसली अपग्रेड करते जाइए. जैसे कभी कभी फॉर आवर हेल्थ आल्सो वी आर टोल्ड कि टेक स्मॉल मील्स बट फ्रीक्वेंटली. ऐसा नहीं कि एक बार बहुत सारा खा लिए एंड देन यू डोंट ईट एनीथिंग फॉर अ वेरी लॉन्ग टाइम. तो इवन बिकॉज दैट इज फॉर आवर हेल्थ. So this is for the health of the organization. Excuse me. So Kai means change. It is a Japanese word because all these concepts have come from Japan. So the basic words are Japanese, which have been translated into English. Kaizen means change and Zen means for good. Change for the good. ये नहीं change for the bad नहीं होना चाहिए. हाँ सुबीर, नहीं सुबीर नहीं, कौन
हाँ.
बात है? शिवम पढ़
शिवम.
रहा था. हाँ शिवम, where is he? Basically Kaizen is for small improvement, but carried out on a continual basis and involve all people in the organization. ये नहीं है कि एक कोई कर रहा है, everyone has to be involved. वो dedication तभी आएगा जब belongingness होगा, और everybody should feel कि they are part of the organization and their work is important, छोटा हो चाहे बड़ा हो.
Kaizen is opposite to big spectacular innovators. Kaizen requires no or little investment.
अब धीरे धीरे करेंगे ना, थोड़ा करेंगे तो ज्यादा इन्वेस्टमेंट की जरूरत नहीं है. काइज़न इज ऑपोजिट. एक बार में बहुत ज्यादा करने की जरूरत नहीं है, इसमें है कि धीरे धीरे थोड़ा थोड़ा करके करें, तो थोड़ा इन्वेस्टमेंट भी आपका कम लगेगा, या हो सकता है नहीं लगेगा, खाली इनोवेटिव वेज हो जाएंगे. तो दिस इज अ मोर फ्रूटफुल वे ऑफ ब्रिंगिंग इन द चेंज. हाँ
The
शिवम,
principle. अच्छा शिवम आ गया.
हाँ आ गया है. शिवम पढ़ो आगे. शिवम,
अच्छा हम ही पढ़ते हैं.
अच्छा पढ़ो.
The principle behind is that a very large number of small improvements are more effective in an organizational environment than a few improvements of large value.
वैल्यू. तो क्या होता है, थोड़ा थोड़ा छोटा छोटा करोगे तो वो ज्यादा बेनिफिशियल होगा. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, इफ इट इज अ n डायमेंशनल प्रॉब्लम, तो उसको सॉल्व करना बहुत मुश्किल होता है. बट इफ यू कन्वर्ट दैट प्रॉब्लम इनटू n प्रॉब्लम्स ऑफ 1 डायमेंशन ईच, तो छोटे छोटे हो जाते हैं. एक डायमेंशन का प्रॉब्लम है तो सॉल्व. देयर इज अ ऑपरेशंस रिसर्च में एक टेक्निक भी है कि कैसे आप n डायमेंशनल प्रॉब्लम को n problems of 1 dimension each. एक बहुत, I think most of you must be knowing this story, that once ये मैरिज पार्टी, तो the girls side's demand was that no old person should come in the party. तो सब जब जाने लगे तो एक ओल्ड पर्सन था, वो बोला कि नहीं नहीं मुझे छिपाकर आप ले चलिए, तो उसे वो कहा जाता, वो एक बास्केट था, बास्केट में उसको बिठा के उसको ले गया गया। तो एक उनको टास्क दिया गया, they were given, there are several tasks and in each task this old person helps, but there was one task in which each of the marriage party person was given one bunch of ये शुगर केन, और कहा गया कि इसको आप खाइए। अब इतना मोटा शुगर केन का बंच एक आदमी कैसे खाएगा? They were taken aback कि कैसे होगा? So that old man said कि don't do that, don't try to each one of you, take one sugar cane from any one bunch and all of you contribute among themselves and eat it, and gradually it will finish. And that is what happened. So this is doing something in smaller steps. You are converting that n-dimensional problem into n problems of one dimension each. So everything, even I think if you deeply look into the stories which were told to us when we were small children, somehow or other they are also related with management. बहुत सारे स्टोरीज में you'll find कि कुछ बातें हमें सिखाई जाती थी पहले बचपन में। जो स्टोरीज, आजकल तो बच्चे शायद उतना स्टोरी सुनते नहीं हैं, मगर हम लोग बचपन में बहुत सारी स्टोरीज अपने पेरेंट्स से, अपनी मदर से, स्पेशली मदर से सुनते रहते थे। तो इफ यू लुक बैक यू विल सी कि इन ईच स्टोरी समथिंग और अदर of useful concern is told to us, whether your work, it is for your workplace, for your family, or wherever you are. So this is one thing which Kaizen also guides you. It tells you कि don't try to do something big at a one go. Try to do something small and then continuously keep on improving it. So at the end you'll be getting a better result.
This pillar is aimed at reducing losses in the workplace that affect our efficiency.
हाँ, तो धीरे धीरे करेंगे ना तो लॉसेस भी कम होंगे, क्योंकि यू आर हैंडलिंग स्मॉल मैटर एट अ टाइम, तो लॉसेस भी कम होंगे और यू विल बी मोर इफेक्टिव, क्योंकि इफिशिएंसी आपका बरकरार रहेगा। अब एक साथ बहुत बड़ा काम करने में आप थक जाएंगे, योर इफिशिएंसी विल बी अफेक्टेड। तो यहाँ पर ट्राई टू डू, टेक स्मॉलर स्टेप बट कीप ऑन डूइंग इट। ये नहीं है कि एक स्टेप लेके बैठ गए, इट इज कंटिन्यूअस, small steps continuously.
By using a detailed and thorough procedure, we eliminate losses in a systematic method using various Kaizen tools. Their activities are not limited to production areas and can be implemented in administrative areas as well.
So ये नहीं है कि खाली प्रोडक्शन में जहां हम लोग प्रोड्यूस कर रहे हैं, बट इवन एनीवेयर कहीं भी आप ये यूज कर सकते हैं। ट्राई टू डू थिंग्स इन अ स्मॉलर स्टेप्स एंड कंटिन्यूअसली, दैट इज द मेन फोकस ऑफ इट, कि ट्राई टू डू, टेक स्मॉलर स्टेप बट कीप ऑन डूइंग इट, यू शुड नॉट स्टॉप, इट हैज टू बी कंटिन्यूअस। सो अपन the third pillar,
plant maintenance. It's aim to have trouble-free machine and equipment producing defect-free product for total customer satisfaction.
तो आपका मेंटेनेंस एकदम प्लान्ड होना चाहिए। जैसे हमने लास्ट सैटरडे भी व्हेन वी वर टेकिंग, यू हैव टू प्लान इट कि हाँ हमें हर एक थोड़े थोड़े दिन पर उसको देखते रहना चाहिए। ये नहीं है कि बस एक बार शुरू हो गया फिर काम होता गया और जब तक कि टूट के गिर ना जाए। तो इट हैज टू बी प्लान्ड कि व्हाट यू हैव टू डू, कब उसका ऑयलिंग करना है, कब उसमें क्या देखना है, यदि मैकेनिकल कोई खराबी होगी, इलेक्ट्रिकल खराबी होगी, एक रूटीन में चेकअप होते रहना है, सो दैट इट इज ऑलमोस्ट डिफेक्ट फ्री and customers are also satisfied with your work.
This breaks maintenance down into 4 familiar or group which was defined earlier.
जैसे हमने किया है अभी तो कर दिया, प्रिवेंटिव मेंटेनेंस, ब्रेकडाउन मेंटेनेंस, करेक्टिव मेंटेनेंस एंड मेंटेनेंस प्रिवेंशन. तो दिस वी हैव ऑलरेडी डन. तो यू हैव टू, प्लानिंग बहुत जरूरी है. प्लानिंग इज एसेंशियल एवरीवेयर. Whatever you are going to do, first plan it. It will take some time, but it will save a lot of things. The problems which you will be facing later on, that you'll be saving on that, and work will also be much better. Fourth pillar,
quality maintenance.
answers, you read quality maintenance, fourth pillar.
Yes, ma'am.
Quality maintenance. It is aimed towards customer delight through highest quality through defect-free manufacturing. Focuses on eliminating non-conformances in a systematic manner, much like focused improvement. We gain understanding of what parts of the equipment affect product quality and begin to eliminate current quality concerns, then move to potential quality concerns. Transition is from reactive to proactive. Quality control to quality assurance.
What do you understand by this?
Ma'am, in order to improve customer satisfaction, focus should be made to produce products in a systematic manner. There should not be any defects in that manufacturing as far as possible. And once the company or the workers or the employees gain the know-how about how to make the product and all factors affecting that product, they can begin to eliminate some of the concerns of the customers. For example, some customers would like the product to be in a certain way or would like to be efficient in a certain manner, and then they could focus on that. And then to the potential concerns, for example, the future concerns that customers are likely to have. So that is why it is said that transition is from reactive to proactive. Reacting to the customer demands and then anticipating the demands and effectively altering the product in a suitable manner.
So here it says reactive to proactive. That means आप react नहीं कीजिए कि customer ने क्या कहा तब हम उसको improve करेंगे. पहले so he is delighted, he or she is delighted कि मेरे कहे बिना ये काम हो गया. आप ये सोच कर देखिए कि यदि कोई काम आप चाह रहे हैं वो हो गया, आपको कहना नहीं पड़ा. You should be prepared to solve their problems and try to understand what they want, what type of features they require. They don't have to say it. You have to feel it. There is a very old saying in Chinese, a king should hear the flower bloom. A flower bloom karega to kya awaaz karega? But see, the king should be so sensitive that he should hear the flower bloom. तो बिना उनके कहे, he or she, whoever is in charge, should sense it and do it. तो क्वालिटी कंट्रोल, पहले क्वालिटी को हम कंट्रोल कर रहे थे, अब क्वालिटी एश्योरेंस दे रहे हैं कि हाँ ये क्वालिटी का होगा. जैसे ब्रांड नेम जब क्यों क्रिएट हो जाता है, जब वी आर अश्योर्ड ऑफ द क्वालिटी. आप कोई अच्छे ब्रांड का कपड़ा खरीद रहे हैं या इलेक्ट्रिकल गुड्स खरीद रहे हैं तो वो क्या है, अश्योरेंस है ना. उनका अश्योरेंस है कि कि फिलिप्स का प्रोडक्ट है तो इट शुड बी गुड. उसके लिए उन्होंने कितनी मेहनत की होगी. the amount of work they must have done. So now we are assured of the quality of that particular brand. So to build up that brand, you have to move from quality control to quality assurance.
Quality maintenance activities is to set equipment conditions that preclude quality defects based on basic concept of maintaining perfect equipment to maintain perfect quality of products. The conditions are checked and measured in time series to verify that the measure values are within standard values to prevent defects. The transition of measured values is watched to predict the possibilities of defects occurring and to take countermeasures beforehand.
So you can see quality को maintain करने के लिए the maintenance of the equipment is so very necessary. Not only any resource, whether it is human or it is machine or it is money, the quality should be good. अब मान लीजिए money का ही है, if it is not from a very good source, later on it will create problems. If machines are not maintained properly, the product or anything which is being produced will be defective. If humans who are working there are not maintained, then their attitude, their discipline will affect the production. So maintaining that quality is very important of any resource, whether it is human resource or any other resource or equipment or anything. Generally, when we talk about maintenance, we think only of equipment. It is not that. It is a holistic approach which leads to quality maintenance. The fifth pillar is training. Swapan? Swapan? शिवम, स्वपन क्या हुआ? कनेक्शन में कोई प्रॉब्लम है? और यू आर नॉट देयर? ओपन योर कैमरा. See, training is very important. Without training, how can you do any work? It is aimed to have a multi-skilled, revitalized employees whose morale is high and who has eager to come to work and perform all required function effectively and independently. Only if you are trained कि ये काम कैसे होगा, whatever work you are doing, if you don't know how it is done, then it naturally you will be hesitant in going and working. रोज आपके लिए एक डर सा बना रहेगा, कैसे करेंगे काम, कैसे होगा. तो ये सब चीजों को दूर करने के लिए you need training. Education is given to operators to upgrade their skill. It is not sufficient. Only know how नहीं होना चाहिए. Know why. Training से हम know how, तो if you are working somewhere, तो by experience you know how पता चल जाता कैसे ये हो रहा है. But क्यों हो रहा है? That is done only through training. By experience, they gain know-how to overcome a problem, what to be done. This they do without knowing the root cause. Root cause they जानते ना, know why. Why जानना भी बहुत जरूरी है of the problem and why they are doing so. Has become necessary to train them on knowing the why. So training is also a very important part of your maintaining the quality. Because as I told you, human resource is also a very important component of not only because you also have to maintain the human resource. And for that, they need training. Because I told you, quality ke liye ho, production ke liye ho, it is a holistic approach that matters. The employee should be trained to achieve the 4 phases of skill. The goal is to create a factory full of experts. The different phase of skills are do not know. पहले में तो आप कुछ नहीं जानते हैं. You are raw. Second में know the theory but cannot do it. Can do but not teach. Fourth में है you know and you can teach also. If you can teach it to someone else, that means you know the job well. Then sixth pillar is office total product maintenance. Who's going to? स्वपन तो अभी तक भी नहीं आया है. शिवम?
Not here, ma'am.
Huh?
He's not here.
He is also not here. Okay, Subir, you read.
Yes. Office TPM. Office TPM should be started after activating four other pillars of TPM. 1, 2, 3, 4. Office TPM must be followed to improve productivity, efficiency in the administrative functions, and identify and eliminate losses. This includes analyzing processes and procedures towards increased office automation. Office TPM addresses 12 major losses. They are processing loss, cost loss including in areas such as procurement, accounts, marketing, sales, leading to high inventory, communication loss, ideal loss.
तो जो losses हैं, because administration should also be good. मान लीजिए कि you are working in the production department. You have to know something about you want a leave. अब वो processing में time लग गया. So administration is, then naturally your work will also be affected, and relatively the production will be affected. So the administration side of the organization should also be follow this total productive maintenance. Otherwise, there will be several losses.
Setup loss. Accuracy loss. Office equipment breakdown. Communication channel breakdown, telephone and fax line.
जैसे आजकल तो इंटरनेट हो गया है. If the office is not maintaining the communication lines properly, both internal as well as external communication is affected.
Time spent on retrieval of information.
Whatever information you require, if you use too much of time on that, then naturally production will be affected.
Non-availability of correct online stock status.
कि क्या stock का अभी present status है. With automation, these things have become easier and it is visible to so many people. Anyone who has an access to that information. ऐसा नहीं है कि सब कुछ सबको पता है, मगर हाँ ज्यादातर लोगों को पता चल जा रहा है. आज communication channels इतने हो गए हैं. You are getting information through so many channels and so many media. So you know a lot of things what your previous generation did not know. So that is true even for office automation. They also have this facility now. So जो भी correct status है stock का, that should be visible to everyone concerned.
Customer complaint due to logistics.
हाँ तो कस्टमर का क्या कंप्लेंट है, उसको सामान समय पर मिला नहीं मिला, तो ये सारे चीजें कम्युनिकेशन के थ्रू ही ना पता चलेगा. You should have a proper communicating line.
Expenses on emergency dispatch, or purchases.
जैसे अब नहीं पता है, फिर सडनली एकदम इमरजेंसी आ गया तो वो काम करना है, तो नेचुरली एक्स्ट्रा मनी विल बी स्पेंट. तो एक्सपेंसेस, दैट इज अननेसेसरी एक्सपेंसेस. So these are the some of the losses. If office automation is, office total productive maintenance is not done, then the seventh pillar is answered.
Sep. Answer.
Seventh pillar, safety, health, and environment. Target: zero accident, zero health damage, zero fires. In this area, focus is on to create a safe workplace and a surrounding area that is not damaged by a process or procedures. This pillar will play an active role in each of the other pillars on a regular basis.
Because it is dealing with the human resource who are working everywhere.
A committee is constituted for this pillar, which comprises representative of officers as well as workers. The committee is headed by a senior vice president, technical. Utmost importance to safety is given in the plant. Manager is looking after functions related to safety. To create awareness among employees, various competitions like safety slogans, quiz, drama, posters, etc. are related to safety, can be organized at regular intervals.
So these are some of the tools through which safety awareness is created in the organization. Through competition, through safety law, slogans, quiz, drama, posters, drill भी हो सकता है, बीच बीच में drill हो सकता है कि मान लो कोई disaster आ गया तो how will you react, how should you act, whom should you contact, ये सारे होते रहने चाहिए. Otherwise जब यदि सचमुच कुछ problem आ जाएगा then you will don't know what to do. So these are very important, because after all the equipment ho, money ho, who is handling it? Is the human resource, and if the human resource is not taken care of, it will lead to a lot of problems.
Conclusion. Today, with competition in industry at an all-time high, the total productive management may be the only thing that stands between success and total failure for some companies. It has been proven to be a program that works. It can be adapted to work not only in industrial plants, but in construction, building maintenance, transportation, and in a variety of other situations. Employees must be educated and convinced that the TPM is not just another program of the month, and that management is totally committed to the program and the extended time frame necessary for full implementation. If everyone involved in a TPM program does his or her part, an unusually high rate of return compared to resources invested may be expected.
So you can see the importance of total productive maintenance, because if you don't have a holistic approach, then the total productive maintenance will not be there. So the 7 pillars on which it is rising, it is covering every aspect of the organization, all the resources, everything. It is communication, everything it is covering, and it is based on the 5S. That is the sorting, the organizing, the standardization, the self-discipline, cleanliness, everything. So if you maintain those 5S, then only the 7 pillars will rise on it, on which the productive maintenance will be lying on it, and it will give you the desired result. Do you have any questions? You can ask me. Swapan and Shivam have disappeared. If it is okay, if you have understood everything, then let's move on to purchase management.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay.
It is everything is clear.
Yes, ma'am.
Now you can see the screen. Purchase management.
Hmm. Purchase management meaning purchasing is the first phase of materials management. Purchasing means procurement of goods and services from some external agencies. Objectives: to conduct business in such an open manner that potential vendors will be impressed by the fairness of the system and thus be encouraged to furnish competition, which will help ensure that the company will secure the best product at the lowest price at all times.
So, see, purchasing is the first thing. Naturally, if you don't procure the raw materials, the inputs, तो क्या करोगे? Then what will be your output? And that should be done in the best way, so that in a fair way, so that the vendors are satisfied कि हाँ कोई ये घपला नहीं हुआ. Whatever they have done, the selection has been done objectively, and the best vendor at the quality good and the lowest price has been selected. So they'll be ready for it. If that is the image, if the image is something that every time there's something hanky-panky is going on, naturally no vendor will be very ready to supply to that particular manufacturer. And this is so this has to be done very, very carefully. Because this is the beginning step. The first step is not done in the right manner, then the successive steps will be affected by it. Purchase of right quality. And such, now you continue.
Purchase of right quality, purchase of right quantity, purchase at a right price, purchase at right time, purchase from right source.
So these are the 5 things you have to see: right quality, right quantity, right price, right time, and right source. So this is the first step for any organization to follow.
Functions: receiving indents, assessment of demand or description of need, selection of sources of supply, receiving of quotation, placing order, making delivery at the proper time by following up the orders, verification of invoices.
So these are the functions of any purchase department. Subir,
Inspection
now
of
you continue, Subir.
Inspection of incoming materials, meeting transport requirements of incoming and outgoing materials, maintaining purchasing records and files, reporting to top management, developing coordination among other departments, creating goodwill of the organization in the eyes of the suppliers.
Right at the beginning, I had told you that if the suppliers, if they don't have a very good experience with the manufacturer, naturally next time they'll be hesitant to supply to the organization. To creating goodwill of the organization in the eyes of the suppliers, developing coordination, because after all, every department needs the raw material, whatever, so there has to be a coordination. Production, purchase department to ek hoga, but it has to coordinate with other departments to know what and how much and from where they require the raw material. And naturally, maintaining purchase records and files, reporting to the top management, because top management is not doing this work. Some production purchase managers are doing it. So they should inform the top management, should know what is happening. Meeting transport requirements of incoming and outgoing materials. So what is the transport requirement? What will be coming inside the unit? What will be going outside the unit? So for all these things, what transport is required? And then naturally inspection of the incoming material, because that is the first thing. If that is not good, that is not up to the mark, then the finished good will be affected by it. Your quality will be affected by you. Your good will be affected by your name in the market will be affected by it. So these are the 5 principles: right quality, right quantity,
Right quantity,
yes,
right price, right time, right place, right source.
So these 5 principles any organization has to maintain, and they have to know that with this, if they start their purchases, things will move in the right direction.
Purchase cycle. Purchasing, the process of buying, requires input from marketing, engineering, manufacturing, planning and control, what materials to order, when to order them.
Can you explain this, Subir? It is very self-explanation is there.
The process of buying, matlab, process of buying means how to buying process. Marketing, first step marketing, how to marketing the equipments, materials, etc. Second thing, engineering. Third, manufacturing.
They need input from all these things. Purchase department will need input from marketing, from engineering, from manufacturing,
Yes,
planning and control. कि what material to order, क्या करना है और कितना करना है, कहाँ से करना है, कब करना है, all these they require these information. Then only they can proceed with their work. Answers?
Reviewing the purchasing cycle. Request / requirement for goods, services initiated. Then you have to check your budget availability. After that, you have to select the vendors who are going to supply you the goods, or the external suppliers to say. And then if you select an external supplier, you need to place an order showing your likelihood of obtaining their product. And once you finally decide to place an order, you will get a goods receipt, and then followed by an invoice, which is verified and processed. And then finally, you will issue payment for the goods or your services that you purchased. And this constitutes the purchasing cycle.
So this is the cycle. Request से check budget, ये finance का काम है, funds management. But this is again purchase, duty of the purchasing. Place order is also purchasing. This is inventory management. कितना है, कितना चाहिए. Then this is account payable. So finally the payment process starts. Then issue payment. So this is the cycle of a purchasing, any purchasing cycle of any organization. Subir?
Importance of purchasing. Purchasing function provides materials to the factory without which wheels of machines cannot move. A 1% saving in materials cost is equivalent to a 10% increase in turnover. Efficient buying can achieve this. Purchasing manager is the custodian of his firm's purse, as he spends more than 50% of his company's earning on purchases. Increasing proportion of one's requirements are now bought instead of being made, as was the practice in the earlier days. Buying, therefore, assumes significance.
So you can see कि 1% of saving in materials cost is equivalent to 10% increase in turnover. तो turnover आपका इतना बढ़ जाता है 10%. So efficient buying can achieve this. So you have to be very efficient in your purchasing. उसमें कितना सेव कर सकते हो, कितना तुम अपना प्रोडक्शन बढ़ा सकते हो. Purchasing function provides materials to the factory. अब उसका व्हील नेचुरली जो रॉ मटेरियल ही नहीं पहुंचेगा तो आगे काम कैसे पड़ेगा, व्हील कैसे चलेगा. और जहां तक पहले ज्यादातर ऐसा होता था, whatever they required it was being made over there only. आज वो नहीं है, आउटसोर्स कर दिया जाता है. You purchase the raw material, अब maybe some semi finished goods and then you make the good. So it depends upon what is your approach, buy or make. तो ज्यादा अब buy हो रहा है, make कम हो रहा है. And such
Purchasing can contribute to import substitution and save foreign exchange. Purchasing is a main factor in timely execution of industrial projects. Materials management organizations that exist now have evolved out of purchasing departments. Other factors like post-war shortages, cyclical swings of surpluses and shortages, and the fast rising materials cost, heavy competition, growing worldwide markets have contributed to the importance of purchasing.
So now अब ऐसा है कि purchasing, first of all you have to see कि अब instead of importing something, कुछ आप अपने तरफ से सब import substitution होगा आपके country में, तो do that so that you will be saving on foreign exchange. Purchasing is the main factor in timely execution of industrial projects. तो purchasing initial चीज है, तो आप जो भी प्रोजेक्ट है आपका, जो भी आप करना चाहते हैं, तो फर्स्ट थिंग इज जो परचेजिंग द इनपुट. तो जो भी मटेरियल मैनेजमेंट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है वो दे हैड स्टार्टेड विद द परचेजिंग. अब जैसे पोस्ट वॉर शॉर्टेजेस हो जाते हैं, तो उसके लिए क्या करना है, कहाँ से वो मटेरियल आएगा, फिर कभी 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 बूम होता है, कभी सरप्लस हो जाता है, कभी शॉर्टेज होता है, तो फास्ट कॉस्ट ऑफ मटेरियल कॉस्ट हो रहा है, तो ये सब चीजों को आप किस तरह से सब्स्टिट्यूट कर सकते हैं. नाउ द होल ग्लोब इज योर सप्लायर. केवल आप, यू आर नॉट ओनली कन्फाइंड टू योर नेशन. सो देन यू कैन always look for some supplier who will supply the material at a lower cost but at the same quality. So you can go for that. You are not bound to only one. And naturally, even the market has opened up. Now the market is open. You are not bound to sell only to your own country, but also outside your country. So those things, so naturally, if you are making things for export, so quality should also be good. So suppliers should be good. So all these things are complicating the whole cycle. It is not easy now. You have to look at each and every aspect of purchasing so that you are there as a global player. You are not only as a national level, you are also working at a global level. So you have to be more careful of what you are purchasing.
Conclusion. According to Walters, purchasing function means the procurement by purchase of the proper materials, machinery, equipment, and supplies for stores used in the manufacture of a product adapted to marketing in the proper quality and quantity at the proper time and at the lowest price, consistent with quality desired.
हाँ, एक्सप्लेन करिए. ऐसे तो काफी अच्छी तरह एक्सप्लेन किया हुआ है. जस्ट एक्सप्लेन इट टू अस, सुबीर.
According to Walters, purchasing function means the procurement by purchase of the proper materials. मतलब procurement by purchase of the proper materials हमको purchase करना होगा. Machinery, equipment and supply for stores used in the manufacture of a product adapted to marketing in the proper quality and quantity. मतलब हम लोगों का वो जो 5 साइकिल था, क्वालिटी क्वांटिटी एट द प्रॉपर टाइम, सही टाइम पे देना पड़ेगा, सही टाइम पे खरीदना पड़ेगा एंड एट द लोएस्ट प्राइस, सबसे कम दाम में भी खरीदना पड़ेगा और वो क्वालिटी भी कंट्रोल करना पड़ेगा.
तभी आप यू कैन बिकम अ कॉम्पिटिटिव ग्लोबल प्लेयर. ग्लोबल भी, नेशनली और इंटरनेशनली. आजकल कंपटीशन बहुत ज्यादा हो गया है, तो यू हैव टू बी वेरी stringent about your supplying, because if you save somewhere there, then your turnover will increase. So purchasing is a very important function, the starting point of any manufacturing unit.
Yes.
Is it clear?
Yes.
So that is all for today. If you have any questions, you can ask me.
Ma'am, after this purchase management, what is the
next topic will be on statistical quality control. Okay. Inventory is already Mr.
Yes, ma'am.
Sukumar has done it. So next topic will be on statistical quality control.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
because that will be bit mathematical,
Ma'am, there will be numericals.
numericals. Because in that you have to be familiar with normal table, because that is the distribution is used for controlling the quality, to seeing that it is under certain limit. एक लिमिट है, जैसे we say plus minus 3 sigma from the mean value. अब 3 सिग्मा राइट की तरफ भी जा सकते हैं, 3 सिग्मा लेफ्ट की तरफ भी जा सकते हैं. तो योर प्रोडक्ट क्वालिटी शुड बी विद इन दैट. तो इससे द क्वालिटी इज कंट्रोल्ड, और यही कंट्रोल आप करते रहेंगे तो नेचुरली यू आर assured कि your quality is of this particular standard. So from control we move to quality assurance. The next topic will be on statistical quality control.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay, good night.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Good night, ma'am.
Good night.
Good night, ma'am.
तो 2 तो गायब ही हो गए हैं. Okay, anyway.
Okay, ma'am.